No way, mister.
No way, Jose.
My counsels are being funny. They're showing no, they're like, no picking your nose. I was like, what? Or is that my gosh? I don't know. No, I thought it was funny. All right. Yeah. What's that? All right. Welcome, Starseed children and Whitelighters, all the divine collectives. Welcome to our channel, Starseed Evolution. We're going to be setting up into a beautiful divine space and an energetic space with all of our family of light here. We're going to bring in a beautiful session with our soul family, the golden diamond age Akashic record library mystery school session. So we're going to start bringing in whatever is coming in from the divine order and also from our galactic high councils and then the universal soul. We're also going to be activating the Akashic records library systems. This is going to be for everyone. This will be an Akashic record cleansing, clearing, ancient keys, activation, bringing in. Uh-oh.
No, I'm good. Sorry.
Is that okay? Okay, I didn't know if that was mine. Okay.
That was me. I'm just sharing the link.
It's okay. What we're going to do through our system here is we're going to transmit codes for Akashic records clearings for all of the collectives. We're going to anchor in the highest frequency of light, photonic light, and we also have the Aurora Rainbow liquid light white flame activation that's going to just be transmitting from our light ship. And that's going to be all of our divine councils, Starseed Evolution, Utopia light ship, all of our community, and we're just going to transmit the code. So anyone who's watching and participating, and all of our beautiful family here, it is going to be an Aurora diamond light rainbow frequency white flame activation to assist you guys with cleansing and clearing your Akash and activating your ancient keys, and also activating your ancient energies so you can start opening up and to be able to access organically your Akashic records. So that's what's coming in for all of us today. And we're going to just start connecting to source light and connecting to prime creator and just bringing that energy into our hearts and connecting to our divine essence of our universal soul. And I'm going to have our beautiful Morgan is going to come in and he's going to start the sessions. So he's going to be hosting and I'm going to be floating in light and sharing some inspirations.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Akasha. So this is awesome because so we talked a little bit, Akasha and I, about a week ago. Oh, we should go live. Okay, great. And then today she's like, oh, do you want to like take over and host? Like, mostly host? Yeah, okay, sure, why not? Right? Roll with the punches. And it's to do with not only the trust that I feel for her, but the trust she feels for me. And on the spiritual journey, you will get that. And you will start, if you don't already, I know some of you are very advanced, but if you're just sort of starting out, you'll start to figure out, yes, it's okay to take the step. Yes, it's okay to take the step. It's scary as, it might be scary, you might not know where the stepping stone is, but it's very okay to take that step. And thank you so much, Akasha, for inviting me on.
Yes, I'm really excited. I decided to do this so I can keep my big one in the house quiet today. So it's still an experience for me because he came and said, and that's the big one in the house is my universal soul or oversoul, whatever it is that resonates with you. And he came in and said, so why don't you ask Morgan? Go ask Morgan if he wants to host and take the floor today. I said, okay. I said, so what agreement is this? What blueprint and what are you triggering him? Like I said, because he's like, oh, this could be like a massive clearing. So I started laughing. I said, sure, why not?
Sure.
I was like, I said, sure. And I realized, I said, today I want to share the space and to be able to master, in a sense, being more inward and just sitting here and enjoying this experience. And that was one of them. But one of them is that I absolutely love when I shared an experience with you and doing an Akasha, when we did an Akashic record reading, I really loved how you did everything. I loved how you brought everything in geometrics and light codes, and how you are able to access the Akashic records. And it gave me inspiration to be able to receive that. So that's why I said, you know what, I want to let him take to host today. So it was funny.
Well, and we're all learning, and even though like I was trained by someone very special to me, it's not the only way. You know, it might be a really good way, a really good start, but there's many ways, and I'm sure you've got 10 different ways of going there too, Akasha.
Oh yeah. So I'm the more mastery, I will be doing more for the collectives right now, because I want to master. There's a lot of things I want to master. One of them is my voice and speaking, but the mastery is full service, and to be able to come all the way into the next levels of what full service is. Okay, so I don't know how to explain it. And then also collaboration, and to be able to support people with divine support too as well. So there's many masteries there too, and many expansions, and also connecting to family. I feel like that the viewers, if they want to come on the waiting list, that when they're viewing all the time, they're not going to feel so separated. I want them to feel in a unity consciousness space. I want us to have fun too, as well. So I'm gonna open up to the Golden Age tea, and I've made Phoenix Abundance tea, and this is my witch's brew cup. This is our chalice, and I kept getting transmissions of the cosmic chalice, but this is the witch's brew, and it's a Phoenix Abundance tea, and it's very simple. It's lemon juice, hibiscus, and peppermint, and also ginger too, and you can add in whatever you want, but it's the Phoenix Abundance tea, and it's the new moon gateways. So I wanted to be able to share it. I have to share some remedies because it actually assists in opening up your heart. And that's one of the biggest things. So I have some inspirations I'll bring in and to assist people as they move along, raising vibrational frequencies and blissful states of consciousness is keeping your heart open and having fun. And that's the reason why I created this. So I have lots of people on a waiting list right now, and I want them to know you can come in and you can come on and hang out with us. I want everyone to feel that they are in a place of unity frequency, and they can have fun, and to be able to access blissful states of consciousness like we do, and what the golden age and the golden diamond age is all about. And it really is about keeping our vibrational frequency very high and connecting to our soul tribe, our star tribe, and also doing anything to make us laugh and to have fun and to play and to create all this mystical and magical experiences. So I wanted to share our golden age tea time. So welcome to tea, guys. Is it? So welcome into this beautiful space. Who knows what we're mastering today? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and happy holidays to everyone too. So we'll just okay, go ahead, Morgan.
I'll just drink my tea.
Hour later.
It's all good. It's all good. You know, I do drink tea, but I haven't drank tea for a little while now, and you inspired me to put some tea in my cup today, so that's good. And just so you guys can see, it's actually a bee. There's a honey bee on the cup, so I don't know, my favorite cup.
Is it? Yeah. I haven't aligned to the bee cup yet. I'll have a water cup. Yeah. And then I have coffee over here.
Oh, okay. You're all set. You're double fisted.
Right? Coffee, you can tell what's really going on. Can't get out of bed with the plasma. It's really what it is. And then the water is, you can't see it.
You can't see it.
It's just forget it. Maleficent. So it's so Disney. I absolutely love it. It's all of the villains. So I have all the villain cups. So I have
Right.
all kinds of drinks here to get me started.
Well, and you find that, just circling back to the Akashics for a second, like most people, they're like, oh, you know, I was a nun, oh, I was a priest, oh, you know, love and light, love and light, love and light. But like, I've killed a lot of people in my past lives, let me tell you, and they've killed me. And so it's like, who's the villain and who's the hero, right? And so I'm looking forward to, with assistance, of course, reading Mikki and Aarthi's Akashic records. And I was going to, there's no one, they wanted me to start off in a different way than I've done before. And I can tell because of what you said earlier about bringing in the codes and that. So it's okay. I'll just go for it.
Yeah, there's lots of codes are going to be transmitting. I always in the field because it's a light field. So I had a lot of codes coming in before I even got on. Lots of plasma diamond upgrades and then golden liquid light. And the new Aurora diamond plasma liquid light. So I need lots of coffee and I literally sleep and then I roll out of bed and then I'm on. We're doing sessions and it's the same thing, going back, upgrading, getting back up, and that's all it is. So the bed is the star pod and the bed becomes the holy grail for a very long time. Yeah. it really does. Yes, the bathtub. Like for the longest time during the diamond plasma upgrades, I mean, you start upgrading, there's so much light coming in, we're just being hit. I feel like everything blowing up.
It's crazy. The energies have just been crazy. And one reason I'm so comfortable doing this now is because I've had super downloads in the last week for sure. And maybe some of you are going through that as well. It's like, right?
Share, you want to share? Can you share your divine business, please, or your divine service? We'll come up with a word. Can you share what it is that you bring forth for the collectives? What downloads are you receiving? It has to be for your service roles, right?
Oh yeah, very much so. And the reason I'm stumbling right now is because they're actually changing. You know, my big guy in the house, as Akasha says, I've got like a whole new set of marching orders. But fundamentally what it has to do with is bringing wisdom in from my place of origin to humans, to the collective here on Earth. And I've got a YouTube channel. I've got some things going on Facebook. Facebook.com/beetrax is the best way to get in touch with me. And it's to do with helping shake people out of their comfort zone is a great way to say it. And wasn't actually going to announce anything now, but now's as good a time as any. And switching from more passive work to more active work. And I was switching to podcast style format and going to do spiritual coaching in regards to that, as well as do more traditional psychic work, like, you know, tarot cards and that, for people that resonate with that.
Yes, and that's opening up passageways and doorways.
Yeah.
For everyone, everything you're going to be bringing in, you're going to assist them with believing in themselves again, and in believing in their intuition, activating their ancient keys. There's many blueprints that are passageways and teleportation doorways. It could be with anything, any type of a divine nation for you to remember again. And that's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's for all of us to remember the intuitive abilities and to remember to remember the universe and how everything aligns and synchronizes to the universe.
Absolutely. I'm gonna borrow some of that. That was good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying, and that's it's synchronicities into to the universe, ancient energies, ancient keys. A lot of people are not able to just walk right in like a lot of us are, where we just say we know what we're doing and we just walk right in, you know. For me, I could just say, yeah, cool, get me a bed, get me a massage table, some crystals, bring me whoever you need. And I just walked right into shamanism. And I said, I know, I know. So it's like, that was like that embodiment where I realized a lot of people, it takes them a while. Some of our best way showers, it took them 6 years to even to be able to go, yes, I know, hold on, let me open up, and like an orchestra and music, and getting branches and slinging off entities off people like it was no tomorrow, and just saying thank you guys for coming and love you so much. That's how I started. It's like nothing, no training, no nothing at all. And it was just that knowing where our best way showers, our most beautiful way showers that passed the gates already, it was like maybe about 2 to 3 years, 5 years, that to break down all of that energy. So what you're bringing in is for them to break down the ego systems and to believe in themselves again, and to synchronize and to connect to the universe. So that's beautiful. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's from the universe.
No pressure. No pressure.
I am Prime Creator. Okay. Now you're going to get all the avatars in. All the avatars are coming into the body. And
yeah, just so people understand, I'm closing my eyes to kind of get centered and whatnot. And just so people understand partially where I'm coming from, my team is sarcastic and humorous just as much as Akasha's is, just a little different. There's a lot of sarcasm. And what they're doing is they're basically in a movie theater eating popcorn and throwing popcorn at the screen right at the moment. So there we go. That's my life in a nutshell.
Yes, that would, I would get the same thing where they would be sitting there eating popcorn. Eventually, I actually realized that they were galactic beings, and they were my kids. So you might want to go look into that. That they would all, it was like a bunch of beautiful Andromedans, and that's how they would play with me for the longest time. And they would, every single time we're about to go into a showdown, like a drama scene, like the biggest drama scene, they were like, oh my God, get out of this trap, get out of this trap. My God, please. They would sit there because it was like this drama scene about to call somebody up. And then they would show me, they were sitting there eating popcorn so they could watch the show in the theater. Right. Like in a theater surround sound. So eventually the ones that I was seeing for years, I actually saw them. I actually could see them. Like now I can actually physically see them. And I go, oh, you guys are real. You know, it was like that hilarious for the past few years. I said, oh, you guys are my crew.
Right.
And I was like, wow.
And it's stepping up, and it's to do with a little bit of truth, a little bit of truth, and pretty soon, you know, you're eating popcorn with your crew. Yeah, it's a wild ride. Yeah.
But that's what they were showing me. They were showing me the drama scene in the play and the show. And that's why they're eating popcorn, because they're like, this is going to be hilarious. I'm like, so you guys, anyways, I've had some pretty big awakenings with them. I've freaked out on them. I said, so you just sit here and watch me? Like, and this is it? You just think it's like this funny show? And I'm like crying my eyes out. And they're going, it's okay, we're just playing with you. Like, we do it to keep you in a blissful state of consciousness. And I realized that that's what it was. And eventually I said, oh, eventually I expanded in photonic light. I expanded my consciousness. And I realized, I said, okay, now I get it. You guys are in a higher dimension. They don't have pain and suffering, and they don't have fear in the body. And so they just laugh and play, and that's where all their sarcasm comes from. It is because they're in a higher vibration. They're like us in the future. that would seem so kind of like you'd be playing around, but there might be somebody in the fourth dimension who would say, well, this isn't funny. You know?
It is not funny down here, baby. There's taxes, there's death, there's like mortgage payments.
You know, so that's where I said, okay. So then when I saw them walking in, they're all those are galactic beings. So I realized they're the crew and technicians, and then I definitely recognized them as my kids. Yeah. So they're feline races, beautiful feline races, and they have awesome beautiful outfits and play with me all the time on their little screens and wear princess crowns and just play around. Like they play with princess crowns and they'll be talking to me, but most likely eventually one mission will come in, which is like a download. And they usually wake me up, but they're feline races. So they're really beautiful feline humanoid races. So they're not going to look like Lyrans. They'll look like us and in the crystalline energy matrix, looking like humans. So eventually they'll be like, so we're real. Ta-ta. Yeah, that's fun. That's awesome. I'm glad you're going to be shifting and expanding. That's beautiful.
And me and everybody else, I think we're looking forward to 2023 because 2022 was kind of a crunchy year, and it feels like for a few of us, 2023 is just going to be expansion and a little bit smoother sailing, you might say. Yeah.
Yes, I hope.
Yeah.
Because the amount of the timelines that I see running till February, it's just like boom, like not even light speed is the word at all. It said. So it should be like a smoother, yeah, that's fine. They're showing me a boat. They're showing me like a Roman boat or no, a Viking boat. Oh, we'll probably be clearing the Viking timelines. There's probably, I believe there's something we're clearing with Vikings until February. That's cool. Yeah, probably a time-space continuum. That's awesome. But yes, it has been quite a light upgrade and lots of patterns dissolving all at a light speed.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Okay. If you want to, you can start with Mikki, and we'll open up into the beautiful space, and I will start staging. I'll sage and clear the space, and sage, okay. And we'll sage the collectives and all of our beautiful people tuning in. We're going to open up.
So while she's doing that, Mikki, if you could just do a few deep breaths if you haven't already, and get as comfortable as you can, whatever that means to you. Maybe wiggle your feet, wiggle your fingers, get relaxed.
Okay.
And if you wish to, you could either say an intention or just think the intention of what you'd like most to come out for the next little while here, for your highest and greatest good. And I'm starting off in a different way, as I said earlier. So they're showing a procession of, I'm getting a lot of priestess energy. There could certainly be some priests in there, and there certainly could be accolades as well. Dark robes, procession with candles. They're showing quite a dish, like instead of candles, it's more like a dish with oil in it. So there's more to the contraption, kind of like an Aladdin's lamp, you might almost say, but it's lit. Dark passageway, like a cavern. I'm seeing brown, like a sort of a desert vibe, if you want to say. They're singing, kind of humming. And they're in procession, and they're doing some of them are kind of swinging pearls or beads or something along those lines. It's a sacred ceremony of some sort, a special occasion, you might say, Mikki. And I'm getting that. Let me just check here. It's a ceremony. Okay, so I think we're going to go through the ceremony in a second. There's a large campfire. Well, I call it campfire, but it's a large brazier of coals or wood or something like that. And I'm going to say it's when the priestesses are around it in a circle. And they're standing there and they're kind of collecting their thoughts. And there's some, let me just see. The leaf, and right at the moment I'm seeing a maple leaf, but could be an oak leaf or something along those lines. And she's presenting it, and it's the leaf. The leaf is important, and it's to do with the leaf grows from the tree, and the leaf is in my hand, and the leaf will be in your hand in a moment. And it's the connection of the nature into the group. So there's something to do with nature and elementals like that. So let me just see if I can tune in for you, Mikki. The message is coming across as it's to do with the strength of the tree, of the oak is yours, and this ceremony is to give you some of that. And so definitely in one life you were a priestess of some sort, and you had this ceremony going on, and it had to do with giving the ceremony imbued you with the power of, if you want to say, of the group. And that, let's see if can we do that now for her. A little bit. It's kind of a journey for you. I'm getting that it's going to be, this is kind of the opening chapter, and then you're going to look at more chapters as you go with that. So that's very cool. Very cool.
Divine priestesshood, divine high goddess, initiations. I received Aarthi, and that's actually what I'm seeing. Yeah, Delphi temples, and I'm just going to kind of swing in just for a minute.
Yeah.
But it seems like the timeline that we're clearing for her today, and it has to be cleared because there is distortions when I'm tuning into. I can sense distortions in this time and space, and cleanse. We have to cleanse and clear. So it's just like I'm activating the codes. But this time and space has to do with, let's just say, I'm going to say emerging or convergence of timelines in 2500 is in a sense the angelic human that is assisting her in this now. So it's 2500 is future time, right? Yes or no? Okay. 2500 future time, and I'm gonna say walk-in, and this seems like the one that came in to awaken you right now. Is not too far into the future, actually, only a few hundred years. And what you're doing, the reason why you're in the space today to work with us is, well, it's multidimensional grid work, first of all. Crystalline photonic light body activating, but also clearing the library system. So it's kind of like working through a clock grid through time and space, and you're working on a clock grid because that's the only way humanity can know time, but there is no time. So it will look like a clock grid that we have to kind of clear templates and wipe the Akasha in order to move out of this grid system in order for everything to come back into a whole. Something that they're showing me. It will look like a frame. It is a framework, like what you mentioned earlier today. They're showing me a frame, and it's like a clock pattern through time and space. Anyways, keep going. That's all I have.
That's all you have. Okay. No, that was very powerful. I'm teasing, but that was powerful.
It looks like yeah, that's fine. Everybody's here working on it. That's what they said. Like all our teams in tech are working on this big framework, and it's like a clock grid through all time and space. We got to move to this time and space that he's seeing, and then 2,500, and then back and forth. And anyways, keep going. So it's cool.
And Mikki, so usually what happens in my sessions, like things will make sense now and then they'll make sense in 2 months from now or 3 months from now. And so in addition to what Akasha said, the girls are spinning, they're kind of starting to walk around. I'm seeing counterclockwise, and that motion might be important to you later on, or might even be important now. And there's something to do about the flame, and there's something to do, I'm getting the go ahead to say this. So Akasha, when I started to work with her, she suggested dancing to me. And she made a whole bunch of jokes about it, since I'm a dude, but it had to do with being authentic and listening to who you are. And somewhere in the dance, you're going to release memories, and you're going to release like distortions, as Akasha says. And I'm seeing you kind of dancing as a flame. So that the flame motion for you might be really important, Mikki.
Okay. Thank you.
Shantino Pushanakati. Dancing. That's funny. Okay. Dancing flame, raising the Kundalini. So dancing like the flame is to open up your meridian systems and to ignite your inner flame, your twin flames. So it seems like you could be working on, what I'm seeing is that there's a flame that needs cleansing, clearing, purification, and it's more divine masculine. So you have to ignite your twin flame aspect, that's the male, inside of you. You have to dance to open up your meridian systems, open up your passageways, and to listen to music and dance. And that was like a few years ago. I had all of my students dancing, that they all have to get up and dance. They all have to dance for 30 days to open up everything so they can see their ego.
But it worked. It worked.
Yes, correct. And it's true. You can dance, you can dance like Shakti, or you can dance like a seraphim, and there's all these different, like Lyra and Shakti, Shiva. You can open up and do this, right? Or you could just move around and do your own dancing from this incarnation. It doesn't matter. But just see, the point is I wanted them to do this. I want you to open up. I want you to get loose and have fun, but I also want you to see all of your ego that's going to come up at the same time, and see if you can dance and move it out and kind of shift it out of the crown, all the ego, right? All of that. I know when I'm dancing, or when it would be like more self-image coming up, or I'm not doing something right. So let's just say self-image and doubts.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Becoming free, opening up the freedom, but you dancing like the flame is probably something that you did in a previous lifetime. So they showed me the 7 veils, and that's an actual dance. You can look it up on YouTube. And it would
awesome.
be, it's the seven dance, and it's going to be more connected to me, to Arabic and Persian and Arabic. So in kind of just moving your body and moving around, you'll be cracking up laughing, so it's all fun. But it's something that you would dance like the flame, or you would bring the flame, yes, bringing the flame energy in. So Tantra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what you got to ignite. You have to ignite your flames and into dance. I have other ways of dancing, but we'll share that later. I've tried to do Shakti and Shiva dancing, and I realized I'm a warrior, so I found my own way of doing my own comp. And I said, this is beautiful. One day to dance, yes, to dance the womb of the goddess soon. So that's what's
Wow.
coming in is the main dance, something you would do from another time and space is the high goddess dance. And that's what I see, but you're able to merge the high goddess dance and the high god dance all in one. And that's the whole inner balance. And that's opening up the womb of the goddess and dancing in a sensual way. So I don't use the word sexual because that to me is an old earth system. So more like sensual or coming from a place of a higher vibration with your heart open and being able to utilize all of the elements. And that's actually what I saw is that you would be able to dance and you could use the veils to remove your veils. So you would get the veils and you would move through the veils and you would learn how to veil dance. And as you're veil dancing, you would be able to shift your veils off. And if you were able to dance in front of anybody else and to open up and dance in front of other people, you really are helping them dissolve and to shed inside of them what needs to shed. Okay. So probably breaking through belief systems.
And with the oak, I'm going to call it an oak leaf. It has to do with remembering, and Akasha talked about the divine masculine inside of you and the twin flame aspect, the unity aspect. And just remember that there's a very strong part of you. If you ever have moments of doubt or weakness, those are human constructs. But if you ever need a bit of strength, just imagine the oak tree and how firm and grounded it is. And that might help you down the road, Mikki.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. If it's okay with Akasha, they switched. I'm seeing a switched in the story.
Okay.
Switching stories. So we went from the warm desert where everyone was in shirt sleeves to I'm going to call it an Arctic scene. It's a winter scene. Man and a woman. They've got. To me, it looks like I'm going to say Neanderthal because like they're wearing animal skins instead of modern Gore-Tex or whatever. And it's a blizzard's coming in. He looks a mess, she looks a mess, but they found a cave. They found shelter in this big storm, and there's somehow, some way they've got a little campfire going so they can stay warm. And I'm just going to tune in, and there's like a dog, there's like a timber wolf, you might say, nearby, but it's a friend. It's like a domesticated wolf of some sort. So Akasha might be able to tune into that in a second here.
That's going to be her energy of her aspect. It's the energy of her multidimensional aspect, which is a wolf. The domestication could be more connection to a humanitarian, is what I'm feeling.
In other words, the wolf's not going to attack her or them. Yeah, it's a friendly wolf. It could use a bath, but that's okay. They're going to eat and perhaps this will make sense. I'm just going to start talking. So it has to do, what I'm getting is it's to do with even though things look bad or can look bad, like maybe abundance isn't there for you right now, or enjoy the moment because there's a campfire, there's it's to do with, even though things are rough, there's always the bright light and there's always something to be grateful for, you might say, Mikki. And right at the moment, you've got each other and you got the dinner's coming type thing, even though there's a snowstorm outside and it looks like the world's a mess. In other words, you've been through the ringer before. You've been through this snowstorm before. And if it comes again, you'll be prepared because you've got the memory of it. You've got the memory of doing that.
Okay, yeah.
That still seems like it's future. So when I'm tuning into it, it's actually the future. It's 2500. So not really sure about where everybody's going in the future as far as timelines go, but I've tuned into a few things happening to the planet. So the future timelines, and that's actually the more advanced angelic human of you, and I see you more of as an advanced angelic human in this space, and everything would be aspects of you because it's your hologram. I don't know how to explain it than that. That it seems like what you decided you wanted to experience in this time and space. So it is a future timeline that he is tuning into, but it's a few hundred years into the future. You are an angelic human, so you can move through space and time, and you do have abilities of what we call a mag or a mage. So a mag, M-A-G-I. So you have beautiful angelic abilities, and those are angelic abilities. Just want you to know that. And they can say magi, and that can be angelic human, but the mags also were angelic indigo races too. So that's the whole funny because a lot of people are like, oh, you mean a magi? It's a mag, and that would be what they call, to me, is more of a goddess that was perceived as a magician, or a goddess that was a shaman, but she actually was the goddess. So anyone who was a mag during this time has special abilities, in a sense, to become everything connected to the source. Very connected. So I see you in angelic script during this time, all over your body, knowing, and you have blue eyes too. So you do know about these timelines in a few hundred years, and it's you connecting to me, but showing me that this is like your hologram, your holographic timeline that you chose. You chose to experience this, and there's really nothing left where you are. So it's not going to be with like what we see out here. Okay. It's like how we see buildings and everything right now. So it's like it's almost like a universal design, a holographic experience that you chose, that you wanted to experience. So there's not that much exactly human intelligence during this time. So it really like everything, I don't want to say a wipeout, but it's like it is a start over, like a reset, like a new start for the planet, and that actually is on a timeline in the next few hundred years, and it really is. So it's a that would be like where everything is just like a reset, and it could seem you're cold. It could seem like you're cold and everything, but you can communicate. You will be advanced as you are now, because this is your walking, in a sense, like merging through this time and space, if that makes sense, that you are able to access all of these keys, this light body that's being shown to me. It looks like a beautiful, very baby blue light body. Okay, so it's like a baby blue crystalline frequency, and the angelic humans in the future actually are recrystallized again, like we were before the fall of Atlantis, and also during Atlantean times. And there's ones that are already blue crystallized right now. All the ones that are on a 12D strand and have their 12D strands fully activated, a lot of them already have the crystalline blue frequency already. Like it's light and pure light, that they actually did turn blue. The blue frequency, that really is the Magic Holy Grail line indigo races. That is the original, one of the original root race templates, is that they look like crystallized light crystal white blue and crystallized, and that's how you're coming to me. And then you have blue, and it looks like azurite, which is symbolic, and I know that blue azurite scriptures all the way down your face, and you have all your codes and key codes, and that's actually you in the future self merging with yourself in this time and space, and it's already you that's already done this before. So it's the consciousness in the the consciousness and your subconscious that is just split in consciousness. And when you unify, you would say, oh, I've already done this before. And you'll remember what you look like. So it really is your physical crystal body in the future is what I'm seeing in you talking to me through the future somewhat systems, but it really is your vehicle of light, your ascension body. So your vehicle, you're in, and it's like your higher self is like, it's a super system, and I know it's a super system. So this one would say, you know, that this is the super system, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So everything is like at a light speed, and making that interconnection, that really is what your future self in this timeline is going to be bringing back online. Okay, so activating the 12 Celica crystalline DNA strands, your original let's just say indigo Maggie blueprint. Okay, so we'll look at a blueprint for a minute, and that really is what you can't see on your skin yet. So one day in the future, when you activate your crystal structures and your crystalline body, you'll be able to see the light body that I'm describing, and you will see blue scriptures. And usually these are the councils I usually work with, are the ones that I see that look like this. I don't know if you can see the blue, but it's going to be like a dark blue, like the blue that you're wearing, or I think it's your husband's wearing his shirt. So your scriptures and your light codes all over your body look like the dark blue, but your skin and your crystal body looks like baby blue. Okay. Now, some people, like the crystalline children, have the baby blue, the white blue frequencies, and all of their codes are crystal white geometrics and codes all over their body, where you have blue scriptures. And this is going to be important, because one day you'll be cracking up laughing when you can actually see your light body. So this time and space, what he's tuning into, and the man that you're with, is really funny, because whoever your soulmate is in this lifetime is the soulmate in the future. So it really is you two coming together with let's say high priest to priestess, indigo blueprints, coordinates, star maps, like everything always has been done together. You guys always have worked together as indigos, high priest and priestess. Okay, so he definitely does, whoever the man is has a, and I'm just going to say that because he could be in your life or not, but whoever the man is has, and always will, it will always be the same contract coming in here, that you guys have to work together and that you have to be together. And it doesn't have to be relationship, or not, no sexual in relationship. That has nothing to do with your high mission. Like the relationship, sex relationship has nothing to do with your soul agreements from all different types of time and space. It really is for humanity, it's for Gaia, and it's for the universal structure. It's for everything that you're working on to, in a sense, rehabilitate the Earth system. Okay, through your codes, your key codes, your light, and the advancement of the race that you are. I'm going to go back into what we call the Madge. Okay, but the Madge is the full embodiment of the 12 strand or the 24 strands, and that really is what it is through history. So there's a lot of distortions in time and space. I always tell people this: see if you can lose your belief systems as fast as possible, especially everything you were programmed with in this incarnation is going to be important, because there's a lot of control and domination, persecution, and duality here. So that's why I said you have a lot you're probably going to have to remove all at once, like a lot of us, to know that the Madge was an advanced angelic human who had all these beautiful abilities that were connected to everything. That's why I said the wolf is you, because the wolf is you. Does that make sense?
Yes, that
Okay.
actually was, yes.
It's like if you watch, there's a good movie, it's called King Arthur, and it's one of the newest ones, and I'll have to find it for you. But the woman that was always watching him, getting him through all of his tests, that is what you were. in a certain time and space, in a sense in the past, but that's not true. It's not in the past, okay? And in the future, it's you now too. So it's all combined. And if you watch her abilities and how she really was his guardian the whole time. That she's the one that was a guardian because she is that full embodiment of the high God and the high goddess, that source consciousness. She really was all things connected. And you'll see that she could tune into anything. And that really was, you call it bending time and space, but she could tune into anything to come in and to help and assist. So she really was, exactly, she was the game player. I don't know how to explain it. Like, she could run the whole hologram if she wanted to. She could go all the source conversation, and she could run the whole thing. And that's really intense, right? But it's a sacred ability. It's not an ability that was misused. Does that make sense? Like, it wasn't an abused ability. It was
yes.
that if this doesn't happen right now, I have to go all the way up and to do this right now, or Arthur is going to be taken out. Okay, and if you go into the Galactic Magic Realm, you'll know about, if you read Arthur's story, you'll see what you actually were a part of, and go, oh my God, go all the way up, or all the grids are gonna fall. And anyways, we'll just keep going into that. But it's like the universal time matrix, all this stuff's gonna clap. Okay, so you eventually would be up there going, like in your super system, and boom, everything would be readjusted. And that's happened to a lot of us. So anyways, King Arthur was like he held the key. He was the rod and staff, actually. To me, he was just the rod and staff. So they're showing me the scene of how you had an ability that was never abused, and it was sacred, and it is a part of who you are. And that's why I said that you're interconnected to, and we all are. So don't get me wrong. It's like, I'm just showing you what all of us are able to activate to. That's a good one. It is the full embodiment of your soul mission. There you go. Your blueprint. So all those parts of you all come into one, and you'll realize the framework that we're moving through is through all time and space. So everything can turn on in this time. So you're able to bring in the highest template for everything we need, even in the 2,500 timelines, which you'll be there too. Okay.
Okay. I would.
That was a good. Just see if you can move through belief systems, because a lot of the history is completely distorted.
Yeah.
I cleared for the witches beyond what you can imagine, like 3 years ago. All the persecution and witches trials. That was like, I think I did it in a nanosecond.
And in addition,
that's what it feels like. I always have my jokes. If you want to go through clearing for the witches trials, go into a galactic community. You clear through your Akasha fast. It's very fast. And I always sit there cracking up, laughing about it, because I go, oh, I guess we're back in the witches trials again. Jesus, how long do I have to sit here and clear for this? But go walk into a galactic community. You'll be clearing for the witches trials if you don't, control domination. If you don't believe in just this. I had the craziest showdown 3 years ago. I was like completely insane. I was like, you guys got to be kidding me. But I realized I was doing it for a collective consciousness. So it was a high mission, and it only lasted about 3 months. It was the fastest mission to run through. Yeah. It was like all this crazy persecution. That's why I said, just move your belief systems, please, as fast as possible, because you will realize how everything interconnected. It goes back to galactic, and it does galactic blueprints, and it will go back to galactic blueprints, but the original ones, not the ones that are distorted today with control and domination, the right and the wrong, and the light and the dark. And you're dark because of this. this, or because you believe in this. So it's all persecution, still playing it out from all of the belief systems for the past like almost 3,000 years. So see how you can move through those passageways as fast as possible, and then you'll be able to recode and reconstruct and recollaborate your whole system. You'll get the original blueprint like I did, and going,
Okay.
oh, none of this is right. Okay. I was like, because it's organically inside of your body. Okay, it's literally your code, all of your scriptures, everything that I designed, the indigo race that you are, the codes, the light codes, the geometrics, all the organic Akash is in your crystal structures on your skin, in your cells. You'll be able to see it when you actually get to see your beautiful codes and your crystallization headdresses and everything else. They'll turn on and they'll show you what the pure and what really is the original. And that's really natural for everybody to access just by accessing their Akashic keys. And a lot of people ask this. So how do you access your Akashic keys? You just tell your universal soul and talk to your crystals to activate Akashic record clearing and cleansing. Once you clear the density, you'll start to get the organic data very naturally accessing your Akash through your Stargate. And once your Stargate opens up and activates. All right, Morgan, you better come back and take it. For real. There's so many coming in. It's going to be like, boom.
Boom, boom. So I'm yawning to raise my energy up because the room, I got to raise the energy up. In addition, just so you understand, Mikki, I see things more whimsically, more sort of metaphorically, you might say, than Akasha. And I'm agreeing with her. And what they showed me was, so you're with your man in the cave with the wolf and the fire thing going on still. And like you got up, he's by the fire, doing the thing. You got up and you grabbed a stone and you started to do, the cave drawings. Like you showed him how to do cave drawings. You showed it was like, oh wow, she knows how to do cave drawings. And like sharpen the sticks to make the weapons. And you were giving him, if you want to say, you were bringing tools in for that timeline that you knew about for a reason that I'm going to talk to you about in a second here. And what was beautiful to me was the cave basically had some sticks and leaves and whatnot in it. And somehow you made a really nice bed out of it. Like it was still rough, but it was very comfortable, if you want to say. So you didn't want for anything because you're bringing in the information. And I'm getting that it's not just in this lifetime and other lifetimes, but as soon as you start to speak, your voice will go, excuse me. But it has to do with you bring your wisdom, bring as much as your wisdom in as you can for a very special reason. They showed me, do you remember earlier I said there was the priestesses doing the walk and then there was the ceremony? The cave, the metaphorical cave that you're in the snowstorm is connected to the metaphorical cave where the ceremony was, or the real ceremony was. And you're kind of hearing whispers of the past, whispers of the future, and it's to do with trust your intuition strongly and bring in whatever wisdom is appropriate because you're connected, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's there's so much coming in that you don't, and that's true because you guys are funny. It's like you don't even know who you are yet.
Yeah.
So it's like you haven't even been able to tune. You will very soon though. So it's like it's like a beautiful counsel coming in and saying she doesn't even know who she is yet, and you will soon. You'll be able to turn everything on naturally through lighting up your codes on your body. Visualizing all of your codes, your light codes, your keys, your Akash, your keys are lighting up in the body. And then you'll start to remember who you are.
Beautiful. And they've switched gears on me, and now you're on like a wooden sailing ship, circa 1700 or so, something like that. And you're a female captain, and way back in those, and again, it's to do with tools and knowledge. So I'll skip some of the details, but it has to do with the crew. You got on the ship and the crew's giving you really crude instruments, really crude tools. And you're going like, no, like fix this, you know, give me a sextant, give me the modern stuff. And they're like, oh, okay. And somehow in the doing of that, you get the modern stuff. So there's something about communication. There's something about, it's not that you're necessarily going to make the widget. You're not going to make the widget, but it's to do with, you're going to help people who will make the widget. And is there anything else for Mikki on that? Does Mikki have any questions, or does Mikki want to go anywhere in particular before?
No, that was all really, really good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like what I'm receiving is that you have so much wisdom and tools that it's just like stocked in front of you, like millions of books, because you've had a lot of experiences not only on Earth, but you've had a lot of experiences off planet too. So you have so much to bring in for the collectives, so much wisdom to offer, and wisdom is experience. And that's where I've heard a lot, and it doesn't matter. You know what? Tune that one out. Okay. Let's turn this one on. That's on. Turn my big one in the house on. Okay. I'm going to kind of go back for a minute.
Yeah.
So, experience with everything that you're seeing, Morgan, is, it doesn't matter if you had 3,000 lifetimes. Those 3,000 lifetimes is all of your experience, your wisdom, and your knowledge is what I'm tuning into. But everything is even here in our planet. You also have Arcturian DNA, and you have a lot of Arcturians coming in. So your star origins that have been coming in for a while. And I'm going to go through all time and space. I'm not talking about just this incarnate. It's the Arcturian councils, your Arcturian higher self. And this one is a little bit different. It looks Arcturian Syrian. And there's also a blue being that's coming in. So this is all interconnected to all of your wisdom. Like you have so much wisdom. And you had experience, and you enjoyed your experiences coming in here. You enjoyed your experiences in other systems and planetary systems too, and other, not just this universe, but wherever it is you wanted to materialize. But you are a very advanced being, in a sense. Like it's like your materialization. Like you chose, okay, well, I'll just come back in on this experience, and that's what I'm seeing. Like with everything that he was describing, is that your true wisdom is experience, and it will be again that you have so much like wisdom books and so much that's going to come in, and to be able to share for humanity and anchor in beautiful templates. There's so much work you haven't even started yet. So it's very true. You have a lot of pathways of the God self. You have so much wisdom, and it seems like it could be more warrior. I see more warrior wisdom. I see lots of leadership and warrior, lots of lots of pathways like me. Like once you turn on all the lights, you turn on all the teams and technicians, they're going to say, well, there's no going back. So guess what? Now you have to go lead like Akasha.
Right. Yeah.
And you're gonna have to, you'll have like them telling you every day, get up and let's do this and let's do that. And that's really leaderships of like a warrior priestess is actually what I see. So this is cool. And since
I feel that.
That's what's coming in. It's just for it's all you have lots of tools coming in. I see, and you can call him Syrian, but it looks like it's an Arcturian Syrian. That is your higher self. And there's another advanced being that I see, which is like the universal soul. It's more like formless, crystallized energy, and that's the one that knows it can upgrade the vessel to the angelic indigo race and everything that we talked about in a sense in the beginning, the super system. And this one is just like, I'll just materialize here. I'll materialize here. I can materialize in Arcturus. I can go to Andromeda. I can stay there for about, 60,000 light years or whatever. You know, like I don't like using words, but let's just say like I could have an experience there for like beyond aeons and then come in here. Or go to another universe or multiverse, or I can create a universe and you can create universes. You have this being able to do that. You can create universes, you create multiverses, and you know how to do that too as well. You can create planets and everything else. So if you actually tune in, you're going to see there's a lot of engineering. So cosmic engineering. That was good. Thank you. That was beautiful. I'm going to bring in a few codes for you. And I'll send it to you when we're done.
Thank
So
you.
this is the codes that you have on your face from the future timelines. Which is, it's on your body now. You just can't see it yet. You will be able to though. All right, Morgan.
Sure. What I'm getting is it's a good time to switch over to Aarthi. And
Yes.
All right.
And thank you, Mikki.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
Just gonna
We're sending so much love to your heart. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. And I've switched gears, and Aarthi, I'm seeing like, I'm gonna call it a belly dance. There's kind of an Arabic thing going on at the moment, and there's desert, tent, and it's very sensual. It's very sensual dance, and it's not a slave girl situation. It's more like the girl's in charge, you know, that kind of, and she's dancing, that kind of a thing. And I'm just going to tune in. Again with dancing, belly dancing, and with the clapper, or I call them castanets, but whatever yeah, you know what I mean, I hope. Noisemakers, right? What is it? We should keep up. And again, so what I'm picking up is whoever this woman is, she's dancing. Oh, okay. Akasha dropped out. Hello, we still there? Cool.
Probably have to start again because it kind of turned off.
Oh.
I think it's only been like a minute. It came right back.
Okay. Well, I'll just start over again. And are you still there, Aarthi?
I'm still here. Do you want me to log out and log back in?
No, it was, I saw Akasha bounce in and out.
Okay, got it.
You
Okay.
were fine. You can come back if you wish. And you're muted, just so you know, Aarthi. Beautiful images, by the way. I love your images. So just in case we skip some stuff with the glitch, I'm having a woman in my vision. She's dancing. It's there's sort of an Arabic vibe. It's desert. There's a tent, and it's to do with she's dancing in a sensual way, and the men are paying attention to her, of course. But it's kind of like her dance is imparting wisdom to them, and it's a little bit different. It's not. It's related to Mikki's, but it's to do more, instead of tools, it's consciousness, it's the wisdom, it's new ways of doing things in the dance, like the codes, at least for this woman, for you. And I should have to keep that loud. What else is important? And the men are enjoying it. So I don't know how much, I don't know you, I don't know how much you speak up, I don't know what wisdom you bring in, but I'm encouraging you to do so very much based on this dance, because it will help the collective, right? And everybody likes you. And what I mean is there's no friction, there's no rotten tomatoes in your face or anything like that. It's all just, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, that's good. That type of energy. They'll keep going unless Akasha has something. Let's see if they want to switch gears. The stars. And so maybe Akasha can tune into this more, but there's something about stars because you're looking up at the stars and you're going, yeah, that's my galaxy. Yeah, that's my star system. That's me. That's me. And present day, like present day type stuff. Go ahead.
I feel like it's more moving into the knowing and remembering is what I'm getting into. What you're seeing is that she's about to go through a major shift where she's going to remember everything and where she comes from, like her plates that were wiped, because all of her memories were wiped coming in. Okay, so it's a part of the plates. All of our memories are wiped, so you wouldn't remember anything, your soul agreements. You also most likely won't remember your star origins or your lineages. I'm going to keep it short at that, okay? And everything was wiped, so you're most likely what I would.
I think Akasha dropped off. Yeah.
She's really bouncing in and out. I'm going to assume we're still going.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm switching gears. So Mikki, if you're still there, just when I was looking at Mikki's records, there was a lot of water. There was almost like a tidal wave, and you could say Atlantis if you want to, but there was water. And in yours, it's very grounded. It's a lot of ground. Mm-hmm. And it changes. The Akashic records are energetic, so it's all an interpretation. But you'll very much, if you don't already, I'm encouraging you to ground. I'm encouraging you to go out in nature and maybe barefoot on the grass or whatever's in your neighborhood. In a safe, whatever you can do safely, right? And what else is important? Animals, nature. There's not, even though I'm in your records, and normally what I would normally see is like books or scrolls, that's not there. And so to me, what that means, you're more an energetic type person. You're more of a person who can understand concepts from thin air, that type of a thing, is what my interpretation of it. And go ahead. Shut up before her eyes. And an overview.
Restoring your plate.
Go ahead, Akasha.
This time it was it's restoring her plates. She's gonna go through a plate restore. So okay, I'm just gonna 1 second, I'm gonna let you keep going. Yeah. The ones that remember, like us, okay, the ones that say, oh, okay, I know where I come from, and I have a list, right? I can tell you, I know, and I know who I know my galactic origins, and I could go on forever and write down where I come from, right? Okay, so a lot of people would ask, oh, okay, this is great for everybody. Just want you to know that this is going to be good for everyone, especially ones that are always asking questions about who they are. Okay, it's within inside of you, and it's a plate. So when you come in here, your plates are wiped. Okay, so all the templates are wiped. The ones who can say, I know who I am, I know where I came from, and it could be all star origin, indigo races, Starseeds, and keep going on, previous lifetime, Akashic lifetimes, all kinds of really cool stuff. Their plates were restored. So all it is that they restored their template. And that's really all it is. The ones that are able to access all the intuitive abilities, the ones that are able to tell you, I know who I am and where I came from, that's because all of their plates and their templates were restored. So they restored their plates. Okay, the ones that are still asking all the questions, okay, and asking where do I come from, that is access within inside of you, and it's very naturally, you can do it organically through restoring your plates by activating your keys and all of your ancient keys and activating your 12 crystalline DNA strands, or activating your DNA, again, what is doormatted inside of you. So it's very natural that you can do it organically, in a sense, and that's how a lot of us were taught anyways by our higher self saying, no, I need you to go inward. I need you to restore your plates and to listen, in a sense, listen to the inner within inside of you and not ask so many questions. So that's actually how my universe, higher version of me, told me to go here, if that makes sense. And then as I was able to access the keys, and would just, all I would do is just visualize crystal light and crystalline light, like very simple crystal light. And I would visualize source light coming through my body. And that's actually how I was able to restore plates. So we can do it naturally. You can do everything naturally yourself. You and you can do it through visualization to restore your plates. So what you're seeing, just real quick, what you're seeing with her is that she actually restores, you restore everything. You're about to go through another initiation and a cosmic dance, and it'll probably be a cosmic dance because the dance is important. And that could be with a twin ray, so a cosmic dance, and I could see that too, is that cosmic dance is to restore your plate, and then you'll be able to remember everything of who you are. Okay. So that's it. That's what came through. The most of the highest that came through for her right now.
Cool. So I'm still seeing like the desert, I'm going to call it a desert landscape, but I immediately took, it was like I jumped up about a mile into the air as you, and I see like an overview of the countryside, and what feels right is that you're kind of in Overwatch mode at the moment, or in this moment. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're needed in, I'll say, if you're needed in Paris, you'll go to Paris, and if you need it in London, you'll go to London, and if you need it in Istanbul, it just depends where you need to go. And I'm not necessarily recommending international travel to you, but it's to do with even energetically, you might even just energetically take a stroll in your mind and your imagination too. And I'm saying Paris, that's just an example, but you'll know, because you're in, when you get into the overview mode, you'll be like, oh, they need me over here. They need my special foot spot. They need it over here. And you can do it energetically. And Akasha can certainly talk to you about that. Absolutely. She's done that. I know she's done that. Let's just see. And they're definitely showing you in the air, so you might have levitation, you might have something to do with rising up, because even though I said grounded, so it might be, you might have missed this, Akasha, her records to me are very grounded, they're very earthy in feel, and so the suggestion was to just get out in nature and ground some more. And so this might be the duality of, you know, we all want to fly in the 12th dimension or whatever, but, you know, we still have to live in the 3-dimensional for a little while, right? Yep. What you got there, girl?
I got healing earth.
Yeah.
The power to give and receive. But it really is her as the goddess self. And that's, I see her as a goddess, like her higher self is coming in and talking to me, but that her higher self would scare her. So I know this because I know Aarthi. She's like, there's no way this is my higher self. This is her higher self. And her higher self has all of these beautiful gold dressings and has this solar gold light coming out and talking to me in a very loud voice and going, you know that you have to, and I go, okay, hold on for a minute. It's like, so it's like, it's her in her full embodiment of the God, and she really is the God. So I know gods when I see gods, and telling somebody, oh, you're a god, they're like, yeah, right, okay, well, wait till you have gold coming out of your eyes. That type of joke type of thing. And I always say, okay, it's fine. I'll see you in 5 years. So when you have beaming gold coming out of your eyes for real, and you're in your highest light body, and that's what it is. So that's her higher self. And this is what I get, is healing the earth, because this really is her. That is her and her light coming from her hands. And that really is the picture of what her higher self looks like. And it's all gold dressing and has gold coming out of her eyes, but it's like, it is It's like, can you see it?
I
Okay.
can see it, but can you
It's a, it's
can
a
you take a
strong
picture of
force.
this and send me Akasha?
Yeah, I'll send it to you later. But it is her, but her like fully in her power, but her as her God self talking to me, and I go, whoa, hello, hold on, real quick. Yeah, so it really is her fully embodied and talking to me, where I'm letting you know that this one you'll be like, you're not my higher self, because you'll think your higher self is me. Yeah, and that's why she's like laughing, going, you wouldn't, you haven't been able to, no, switch the words. Okay, so we're gonna go back for a minute. Hold on, because I have my lower self in words through my throat chakra. So let's say photonic light and restoring your plates. If you were to talk to this one right now, this one you would think is mean. It's not. Okay, so this one is empowered, like the picture, and healing the earth, the power to give and receive healing. And you have to connect your roots to the earth, because you have many lineages here, as, let's just say, a god walker or an earth god walker, and you were an earth god walker. You love this planet, and you know all the nooks and crannies of the planet. Okay, so if that, and it really is, this is really you with the light fields coming out of your hands, and you just look absolutely beautiful talking to me. As I said, just hold on, because you'll have to wait until after we're done. I'll talk to you. I don't know. I'll have to go and sit and talk to your higher self, because this one's coming in, but this one is all gold and jeweled, and it has jewels and gold, and is like that God self. Like, to you, you would think, okay, this is like a goddess, immortal coming to me, something you would see in a movie, and you hearing you would go, wow, you're just, so how do I get to this? Well, you will, but let's see if we can get you there without all the experience and lessons like me. Okay, so that would be like the Kali. Okay, so that's good. That's a good one. Or how Shiva rips everything apart and puts it back together. Rips the universe apart, puts it back together. Rips the universe apart, puts it back together. If that makes sense, that is literally what they did to me. Rip me apart, put me back together. Rip me apart, put me back together, until I came into that God force embodiment of how I see your higher self, and speaking that voice, that power voice, and then also turning on all of the God body and the full God body. But because I wouldn't just let go and trust, and that's all it was, is because I didn't let go and trust. My higher self kept telling me, if you don't stop giving your power away, and if you do not let go of these contracts, so then I guess we're gonna have to go through another big one, huh? And that really is like, it in a sense, but it's because I had my ego of fear would just not go and trust, and now I do. So that's where it might have to be like that to get it, or maybe not. So you're a different frequency than me, but this is you know, you fully empowered, and you do have this frequency running, so you've accessed your God self when you get angry, or like when you're like that, and that's like the prana. Yes, okay, so that's, yeah, Shraddha. Is that the prana coming, the fire coming out, and boom, that prana force is you. Anyways, so that's what, this is when I have to definitely, I'll sit and talk to you, and I'll talk to you about our conversation. But I know that that this one, that you will address you and probably will speak in a direct, fully embodied, the full body and higher self will speak in a direct tone, that the human self will curl up in a ball like this usually, and will be like, oh, yeah, me. going, so if you don't do this and if you don't do that, to move out of your energetic loops, please. And that's usually, it's just really probably just energetic loops. And that's, see, so this is what I was like, Aarthi would be scared of himself. Fully, and this is you in the future. And like I said, it'll probably be about 2 to 5 years. It could go really fast too. So this is what I have coming in, is that I have to pull cards of the Priestess of Light, and that would be the High Goddess Priestess of Light. And it really is everything of you that you can't see yet, and in your God self, you're fully embodied with the High God and the High Goddess, because that really is your highest blueprint of your life bodies. Okay, and brilliant beliefs, luminous life force, and personal power, and that really is what I see in you, in connecting to you, because you're one of my soul agreements on the planet, and we've done this before, honey. So we've done this lifetime before. Brilliant beliefs and luminous life force and personal power. You really do and have a beautiful light force. Okay, so it really is your light. I love this deck because it will show you your radiant light, and it will show you your High Goddess, I don't want to say powers, but let's say powers today. Nah, it's like, we'll say the light fields coming out of your hands, and you do radiant and light and beauty, and you touch people around you that you don't see yet. Opening heart, deep connection, and water blessings. So you have a lot of lineages here as a God walker. And that's what they're calling you. So I don't know if it's connected to your lineages, but they call it a God walker, an earth god. And it's all intertwined. Okay. Morgan, that's what came through.
Yes. That's
Okay.
beautiful. And it ties in with what I saw, and they've switched gears again on me. So I'm in more of a building, you might want to say, something like a building. And there's an older man, and he's sitting by a fire, and it's a sacred fire. And if you wanted to put a tile work or stone work, it would be similar-ish to what you've got behind you right at the moment, Aarthi. But it's to do with, it's sacred, in other words. And he's going, yeah, I know, Aarthi. Yeah. And what he's doing is he's got this very beautiful, very high craftsman sword. And to Morgan, it looks like very similar to a cutlass. So what I mean is there's one sharp edge and one blunt end. And both will do damage, but in different ways. And both, like, one's more for protection, you might want to say, and one's more for offense, you might want to say. And he's polishing it, and he's putting water, I'm going to call it holy water, but sacred water, onto it, and polishing it and making it pure. And you have the choice. He's offering it to you. And as with everything in my work, but you can accept it or not accept it, but it's a sword of power. It's a sword of, I'm going to say, the warrior. And you can take it and you can put it in a safe place, or you can refuse it if you wish. Okay, it's up to you. He's standing up, and in my mind, you've already taken it, so that's wonderful. But it's yours. And anytime there's a gift like that, of course, say thank you, gratitude, and put it in whatever your safe place is. And I just want to make sure, do you have a safe place for it in your Akasha or in your vision?
And the minute you said that, I thought about my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm just going to expand here in a sec. There we go. This is perfect. What else is there? Yes. There's something about this older man, and I'm just going to describe him for a quick second. So in my vision anyway, he's got sort of a cold gold hue to him. Little bit of a little bit of a beard here. We might say he's 60 years old. He still has some hair. He's human, mostly human. Very wise. And it's kind of like, I'll see you later. It's like, I know you, but it's not time yet to really connect, but there's definitely some some connection, if you want to say, some knowledge of each other.
Yeah, it's like her from another time and space, but he's like the crutch. Posher's like library. He showed all of like this huge I can't say the word right now. A massive golden age library, like a beautiful golden age library. Like I see like the Monzalina. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Somebody, Morgan, please see if you can find this word for me. But how do you say it? Is it
mausoleum?
Yes. Is that? I was like, they're telling me, but I can't. I know. The frequencies is there. That frequency is not coming in because it's, in a sense, that word is an old frequency. So I've noticed that when I could never speak, I didn't realize how quantum I was in my 20s. Yeah. In my teenage years, in my 20s, and I would get made fun of actually. My contracts I had in my life, and that I allowed in my life actually, and I could have just walked out of. I could have walked out of where I was at, but I chose to stay, right? So I realized that I would never be able to speak properly. There was a lot going on in that recollaboration because I had problems in my ears, but I wasn't able to speak because those words are a lower frequency. So I was upgrading my Kundalini for a very long time, not realizing it. Hopefully they'll be able to help anyone. But see, the word was coming in, and they're like, just tell Borget to see if he can bring the word in. Because they're showing me that is what it looks like the theater. But it's like it's a beautiful golden and white plasma liquid light theater, and that he's like the library keeper, and he's the one from a previous incarnation that has all the wisdom. Okay, so it's her, and it's one that has, let's say, ascended. That's like ascended master is what I'm tuning into. He's an ascended master, and he's like her gatekeeper to her library system. And he's showing me the whole library that she has, everything she has to offer, everything that is to offer her. So I'm starting to read like you. So this is cool. I'm seeing more pictures. I'm seeing more picture like holograms.
Holographic, yeah.
I'm seeing more picture to see how they're communicating and showing me. And that's what I see. Is that he's like, oh, she has all of this that she hasn't been able to come into yet, and to walk around and to be able to like take a book or like a hologram, take it down and to activate it and just bring it in. So it's like, yeah, it's like an amphitheater full of all of this wisdom.
Yeah. So I'm being guided to take you on a little bit of a relatively quick journey, Aarthi, and take you to the front door, if you want to say, of your records. And I agree with Akasha that it's not time to show you the whole thing, but it's time to show you the front door. Does that sound good to you? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was on mute. I said that's perfect.
Okay, perfect. All right. And if you're playing along at home, maybe you'll get to your own gate too. It just depends on what codes come through. So we're just going to do a little quick meditation. So stretch and tap your toes, wiggle your fingers, get comfortable if you can. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. And for you, I'm getting grass. I'm getting like a meadowland. I'm getting connect with nature, in other words, girl. And there's trees, but they're in the distance, and you can feel them, and you can feel the animals, but they're kind of a little bit away. They're very friendly. They're like squirrels and robins and things like that. Hummingbirds, sure. Butterflies, sure. Okay. And grasshoppers, but they're at a distance, and you can feel all of them. So you breathe in, and it's natural. It's a nice, warm, spring day, you're in present day clothes, going for a walk, smiling away, everything's good, everything's great. And you come up and you see kind of an odd looking stone in front of you. It's very peculiar, and you get closer and you can see that it's maybe 30 feet high or so. We would call it a large boulder. And you slowly walk up to it because it's quite large and you were quite a ways away. And as you get closer, you see that there's an indent, and you see that there's a door of some sort. There's an opening, but it's closed at the moment. I'm seeing it as an oak door that's in a circle pattern with a strong cross member or two on it. Much like, not exactly, but much like the ones in Hobbitville in the Lord of the Rings movie. It's, circular. Anyway, whatever it is for you is perfect. Oh yeah, somebody's getting codes, definitely. So you're standing there and you notice it, and you notice that there's a way to open it. And your guide, your host, if you want to say, is coming through energetically. Whoever that appears to you is the right one. And to me, it's on my left side. And to me, the guide is there, and there's a welcoming, and this is kind of typical with me, but they're offering you like food of some sort. They're offering you refreshments, which you can either take or not take if you wish. And partially it's to do with syncing up energies, and partially it's to do with trust, but obviously you can do whatever. You can refuse them. That's very okay. And once the formalities of, hi, how are you? How's the weather? That type of conversation. The invitation is for you to open up the door. And in my vision, the door handle, if you want to say the door handle is moved, the opening is moved, and that's okay. And if you're ready, when you're ready, I'm extending my left hand, but whatever hand, or maybe just a thought, and open it up and peer inside to see what you see. You don't need to go in, but you can look and see, and what do you smell? Like, is it beautiful? Is it moldy? Is it like a bakery with bread? Is it cigarette smoke or cigar smoke, things like that? What do you smell? Or do you hear sounds of a harbor town, the bells of the ships and the curses of the sailors? Whatever you feel is correct. And because you're just on the edge, who I'm talking to is just on the threshold. And the invitation, your guide is saying you can go in and you can step in. And you have stepped in, Aarthi, at least in my vision. And you look around, and it's yours. You can touch if you wish. You can just stand there and look around, much like Alice in Wonderland, if you wish. Feels like you're touching things, so that's cool. So it feels like you're exploring, and it feels like you're going inward. And so take a few steps in if you haven't already. Perhaps, and this is common in my visions, there's a desk of some sort, a counter of some sort, and there's another person behind it, and it's a helper. You could call it a librarian if you want to, or a helper, whatever's best. I mean, innkeeper, tavern keeper, whatever's best for you. And apparently there's quite a few listening to me who are doing this, so that's wonderful. So whatever you see is perfect, and it's part of your story, it's part of who you are. And you can say hello to, I'm going to call it a barkeep, and you look around to your left and you see an expansive scene, or you see an intimate scene of a old English tavern. I have no idea why taverns are coming up, but I'm just going to roll with it because that's what's coming up. And it's to do with, it can be intimate or it can be very expanded. And for now, whatever you see is perfect. And if there's a chair, you're welcome to sit. And if there's not a chair and you wish to sit, just make one. Just, there it is. And I'm going to keep going with the tavern theme. Put a fireplace in if you wish. Put a mug of beer in your hand if you wish. Or wine or orange juice or nothing. Sit around and talk to your friends. In my vision, there's about 3 or 4 of you at the table, talking like old friends, giving each other a hard time. You'll know who they are. You'll know their stories. You know which ones are making tall tales and which ones are telling the truth. And I'm take a moment. And I'm getting for this session, that's really good at the moment. So what we're going to do, when you're ready, it's time to go. Last call at the tavern, so to speak, or the library. Closing time. So the fire goes out, if you have a fireplace, the candles go out one by one, the staff start to yawn, and you stand up and you say goodbye to your friends or whoever was with you. You throw a coin to the barkeep or say goodbye to the librarian, and you walk out the door, and your original guide is there, and you someone closes the door, closes the portal. And you wish him good night and thank him for showing you this sacred space. And it's yours to go back to anytime because it's yours. And you walk, Aarthi, in the grass, walk away from the stone, walk where you came from. You hear the trees and hear the crickets. And when you're ready, you wiggle your toes in your human body, and you come back to the chair, come back to your breath. Open your eyes. And you, my friends, visited your Akashic records for just a moment.
Can I share what I saw? It was a little different than what you were explaining. It was a similar theme. I thought it was very fun in the sense that I did see somebody coming in, kind of like a welcome, and then all I saw was like golden light that was coming out. So I came in, like when you said, like I'm curious, what is that? I'm gonna kind of went in very curious. That was my feeling. I was laughing because that was that. And then when I went in, I saw it was initially like surrounded with dark, and there was a golden this thing. It's like what do you call it in English? It's a skating thing, like slider. Like, I don't know what do you call it in English. Like kids would slide,
Oh, yeah.
What do you call that? So that was a gold this thing that slided down, and then boom, I landed in a place which is where you were talking about tables. Then I caught it. I was also going along with it.
Yeah.
But then it was like, and then when I'm coming back, it came through the same. I thought it was funny because when you were saying, people around, I was seeing in that gold tunnel thingy that, people were, I thought it was cool. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And everyone's experience is going to be quite different, but absolutely. And there's usually kind of a whoosh to get through. I think it's called a slide. Whoosh.
I don't know what it's called, but it felt like I felt like a little kid going down there,
Right.
And he said that, I was laughing because it's like, oh my God, that sounds fun. And then I was seeing people within that gold tunnel. So, and then when I landed, and then I was like, and then whatever you were walking me through, and then coming back, I came back to the tunnel back. So I thought it was beautiful. It was so much fun.
Awesome. That's very awesome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I'm getting to give the stage back to you, Akasha.
Kushana Kushanti. Yeah. Kushana Kushanti. That was beautiful. Yeah, I was able to access a lot. I was able to access our version of me, walking with you guys. That was cool. That was yeah, exactly. It's like the multidimensional being of Shiva. I saw myself just as Shiva, like with the multidimensional blue and kind of like shifting reality grids. That's what I'll see. That's what I'm being shown. You know how they have like 6 hands, like 6 or 7
Yeah.
hands or
Yeah.
10 hands,
Mhm.
and how they're like this, you know.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Which eventually very soon, we're going to be teaching all of you guys how to do this in classes on our channel. So we're going to go into we called it Avatar Quantum Chi Flow, but I feel like we'll figure out what we're going to name it eventually, and to have something new come in. But it's how when we move our hands and how you would see Shiva in certain positions, it really is cosmic force. Okay, and that's what we'll be bringing. We're going to bring it into classes soon, and to teach people how to do it. Oh, it'll be very soon, but that's what I saw, is that cosmic force and the 6 arms and 7 arms, and Shiva was showing me how to literally use the cosmic force to like bid, let's just say, reality. We'll hold it at reality. And that's coming through for you too, and everyone that's listening, is that it's really cool because we look like a cosmic crystalline blue crystalline beings, the avatar. If you were going to think about what the avatar looks like, but everybody's avatar is different. So there's blue avatars, and then there's gold avatars, and there really are. So there's different, or it could just be different levels of enlightenment. You become the gold being, silver, and it's usually silver and blue. But anyways, that's coming in from Shiva, is for you to awaken, to remember your cosmic force, like your cosmic body. So I guess it would be called the cosmic body. And that is coming through. So it's showing me like the multidimensional reality and multidimensional, and that we think we have 2 hands, but we have like 20 hands or 1,000 hands. And we're a lot larger, very large beings. So that's actually what I was able to see. And this is the new Andara that wants to say hello. So I was told to hold the Andara while you're walking through the journey, Morgan. And that's actually what I was able to see in the embodiment.
Wow, it's beautiful.
And it really is. So it could just be like Shiva's transmitter, the God realms. Well, I know it's the God realms transmitter. And then I hold it and I can see that cosmic God force, but you got to kind of anchor it all in, and yes, and not be the Shiva, this destroyer of the planet or the universe. So anyways, there is an aspect that Shiva shows me how to, he shows me that the universe apart, and then we create a new one, this cosmic force. So obviously the Shiva that I tune into is what they call the destructional Shiva, and it really holds a good space for me because I have so much warrior and Spartan, and you know what I'm saying, like that. It's like, so she comes in handy and teaching me how to take all that cosmic force and utilize it in the ether realms and just become really large, like the whole universe and just move energy, and but with the hands and with that force and destruction, which is like, my God. And it's like, you wouldn't think this about me because you're like, she's so beautiful and loving, you know, loving and light. Well, there's this inner, the inner other void, I call it the void. So the inner universe, that cosmic void universe, that is just like that force of like a million gods, of that warrior just going. So what that's what they're showing me is like, how do we transmute this energy, right? Because we, most of the time we're like, no, this is bad, we have to get rid of it. Well, the gods show me how to take all of it and kind of pump it into the heart, and to be able to take all that cosmic, and it's okay if we rip our universe apart. So anyways, it's our universe, so we can rip it apart and then you materialize it again. It's godlike abilities, you know, like you rip it apart, you materialize it again to something new of creation. So new creation, and that's the whole point. So that's what's coming in for the completion of her reading, is that Shiva wants her to see that universe, so she can dissolve that universe right here and then create a new creational, a new creation of the universe. You don't have to be as intense as I am, but I can't help my higher selves. So you might have more of like a, you know, a fairy, a queen of the fairies, more like, you know, graceful. I have all of these warriors, and I have a Spartan higher self, and all of these Shiva and Ra and all of them coming in and go, I'm surprised my body's not exploding.
Right.
And light. Like
And we talked about a movie theater a little while ago, at least with me and with you too. And yeah, mine's full now. So yeah, that must be good. Thank you.
yeah, it's hilarious because they're always working. It's like, for some of us might have this extent of like this warrior energy, and they use me how to, they use it, they teach me how to bring it into purity, and to utilize it in pure intent. So it could be just pure creation, kind of like taking all of it and all of that warrior energy and streaming it through with flowers. Yeah, exactly. So that's more Radha coming in. Radha and Krishna, like, so turn it into flowers. Whew. So I have, you know, it's eventually the guides and the gods will come in and teach you all different types of ways of creation and co-creation. That was pretty. Okay, are you ready for the ending part, Morgan?
I believe so. I was just there's something to do. I'm just disconnecting from Aarthi, and there's a flower. It's a single flower. It's not a bouquet, but it's to do with it's a flower, and it's not. I don't think it's from Earth because I don't recognize it. But it's kind of, everything's a pansy to me because I don't actually know my flowers. But it's a petal, and there's petals, and there's like the thing in the center, and it's white, and it's kind of like yellow on the center. So that might be important to you, Aarthi. I don't know my flowers, sorry, but it's a beautiful symbol.
The one you talked about makes me think of like Stargate or some portals of some sort. That's
yes, like her headdress, her anointing of her high priestess and high priest, because you're both. That's the whole thing. That's the whole, yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing of all your councils coming in, is that what he's seeing is your headdress. That's your beautiful softness headdress, but you have many cosmic forces that you haven't been able to unlock yet. Like me, you have. That's why they say you have to show her what we teach you, because this is actually, you have a very not a identical path. You have a very similar path internally inside of you, of how they teach me is how they're going to teach you, that you have all of this cosmic force of the gods. So like millions of gods are in favor of you. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
like that. And it will teach you, you'll be taught by the gods and trained by the gods in the future. But it's a lot more, it's like you have all of that warrior energy that is like suppression. And it really is a lot of, could be suppression from this incarnation. And then they have to pull it all up, all of that suppression, all of that control and domination, everything that suppressed you down. And it could be abuse and narcissism and all kinds of, you know, everything that just, you know, in a sense, I don't want to say block the chakras, but cause density in the chakras. And that's what they're saying, is that you have to turn them on, but they have to teach you how to utilize that energy and that beautiful shadow energy and pure destruction force, and it will be destruction force. You pull it up in destruction force and then transmute it in a sense to cosmic force. So that destruction force will become cosmic force. So that's why he was showing me all of that, but you'll be trained, most likely trained by the gods, like I was. So it's cool. That was awesome. That is it. Anyways, that's what I see coming up, and it's the headdress is the anointing. That's the anointing of your crown, and it is the Stargate. So we'll give Stargate headdress. You can, Morgan, you can place the crown.
Okay.
You can place her flower crown. So go in the ethers and give her headdress. So that's the whole soul agreement here of why we all came together, and Mikki too as well. We're here to anoint the crown of Aarthi. So you see, this is the highest contract yet.
All right. The closest Earth one that I have for those playing along at home, it's actually Rebecca. It's close, but it's white, but it's that idea. Anyway.
Mhm.
Oh, we're in ceremony. There's a procession of priestesses, accolades, much similar to what Mikki had earlier. A bit of humming, a bit of singing. There's definitely what I'm going to call gods around supporting you. We're walking, where are we walking to, folks? We're walking to a very sacred place, and what I'm initially seeing is, again, there's a brazier, and again, there's a fire of some sort, what I'm going to call large campfire. A cavern, there's crystal cavern type idea. It's beautiful in that it's, it might be amethyst. There's an amount of light, but there's an amount of darkness. And what I mean by darkness is it's amethyst, so it's a dark color. If you not a dark heaviness. Okay. I'm getting it's a priest this time. Doesn't matter what he's got a nose that's a very memorable nose, and he's relatively slender. He's saying some words of greetings and of power and of reverence is the best way to say it. He's turning to one of his, I'll say, accolades or priestesses, and she's got a beautiful crown of flowers for you, girl. And he turns around to you, and you kneel down on one knee, bow your head, and he places it on. Oh, yes, definitely. There's definitely some energy exchange as he places it on there. It's very beautiful. I'm seeing sort of a sparkle, kind of I would say pixie dust, but whatever sparkles are for you, absolutely. I'm seeing silver sparkles in my vision. And you stand up, and you stand a little straighter, you stand a little taller. And you say some words of wisdom, something along the lines of, I will, it's along the lines of, I accept the responsibility and I will be as pure of heart as I can be, those words to that effect. And the priest claps a great thunderous clap, and the ceremony is over, in my vision.
Thank you so much.
It was really beautiful. What I saw was like, when you said you stand up, I all of a sudden became like really, 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 really tall. Like it was like super. I'm like, what? And then I was like coming back, like it felt that way, like and really big, and then I'm coming back. So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
So it was really beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's absolutely, oh my God, that's beautiful. See if you can keep accessing going all the way up and out. Okay. See if you can keep accessing when you're taller to go up and out of your crown and tune and tone to your universe. See if you can tune into your universe up and out when you do meditation, because I know you do. And just tune in to go. See if you can move up and out and expand yourself as large as the universe and tune into your inner universe. Eventually, you'll actually go up and out of your body very soon, and then see if you can kind of look through the pineal gland, the projector screen. It'll almost like looking like this down. So see if you can go up and out, and then kind of tune in into your third eye, through your diamond third eye. There'll be an importance for practice in the future. At least you will know how everything works with the vessel and where your higher self is accessed at, and that will be your third eye, your pineal gland. Listen to the function. Listen to. That was absolutely beautiful. We're going to clear the space and close the space. I do have some, I brought in a few things for that. The ones that have a warrior, lots of warrior higher selves aspects. We're going to close the space. The beautiful anointing to your headdress. Mikki, that was absolutely beautiful for being present. She's more of like the priestess. Morgan's the priest. Yes, and exactly, because Brahma showed me a little golden baby Buddha. He says, Aarthi, the golden baby Buddha, like showing us as you like a little baby Buddha, like little gold Buddha that we're anointing through initiation. That you're just a beautiful little Buddha baby. A golden baby, that's what he shows us Brahma going, she's a little golden baby. And it's funny, you know, the pictures of the baby Shiva that you sent me, they're showing you like that. I think you've sent me little baby pictures, but I love those pictures, and that's how they're showing you with your little headdress and everything, your gold headdress and flowers. Yeah, it was beautiful. And we're going to just close up the space.
I just want to say thank you so much. I don't have words to say. I don't know how to express, but I know you guys can feel my gratitude. So I'm just gonna say that, you know, in words, thank you, but it's beyond just thank you. So really thankful to be here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. The keys behind you are absolutely beautiful. The light codes behind you are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We're going to just close. Thank you so much, Morgan, for coming on.
You're welcome.
I realize I'm mastering patience and sharing. So thank you.
Okay, good.
an opening of the heart field.
Well, and it's always interesting to work with someone who you kind of know, but you don't really exactly know what's going to happen. So it's kind of like, oh, it's a surprise. Yeah. Yeah, it's been beautiful.
We don't plan anything here in the higher realms. So
No.
everything's like quantum. And so everything just, we're supposed to flow with light, and that's as soon as you start putting control and domination and linear, everything collapses, you know. So I always tell everyone, when you take your name in this quantum conscious living, there's one point saying, yes, I'm quantum, but are you truly quantum yet? Okay. That takes many years of mastery to know to remove veils of control and domination, releasing those frequency bands. And I call it the autopilot softwares that we don't realize that are there yet. So if I'm kind of expanding for a moment, where am I getting at? Is that everyone here is on their ascension journey navigating dimensions. And it really is just fourth dimension now. So I always tell people, open up your heart and see how much you can open up your heart, and keep opening up your heart just a little bit more every single day, so you can realize that everyone here that you have an experience with, so soul contracts or even souls, and you're sitting there in the one of the most extreme veils that everyone is moving through on this planet is going to be judgment, separation. So a lot of people like to judge and pick everything apart within every out there, but that's inside of you. So everything you see is inside of you. That's the whole point, because it's designed the higher selves and contracts. It's all designed. So everything that you ever see in your external through your eyes is for you to see that that is a dimension or a matrix in the fourth dimension. So I always tell everyone, going back just for a minute, that everyone here on the planet is dissolving softwares. So opening your heart center, opening up the gate every single day to know this is just an illusion. Everything that I see out there, that anyone that I am sitting here with, and if I have a frequency of judgment, that's because you're dissolving judgment within inside of you. And all of the softwares, that's all inside of you. And that is the fourth dimension, is what we call a mirror system. And it's a mirror for you to reflect, for you to easily to be able to remove the softwares and to dissolve it. So there's a lot of times people are on control and domination and judgment, and these are in separation with inside of them. Everyone is here mastering it, and everything that you see externally out there, don't take it personal, and stop taking it personal, and open up your heart. Stop taking it personal, because everything that you're seeing is still in the frequency bandwidths until your higher self tells you that this doesn't exist anymore, and what you're is what is in this person. Because as a light being, we actually assist by just sending a code so they can remove it, right? We have to for a moment on this, because this is coming up in the collectives. Everything that we see is just releasing softwares. And everyone here is in mastery in the fourth dimension to see how we can move the softwares, even if it's on autopilot or if it's not on autopilot. And that really is the fall of Atlantis. And I'm not going to say that it's reptilian distortion, because I think I'm definitely switching from that frequency, because that's not the case anymore. That human species and all the angelic humans, especially every single one that is spiritually awakening, eventually has to take full responsibility and accountability for themselves, in 100% for themselves right now, and not kind of put in all these beliefs there. Anyways, so because I see that a lot too, and this is, I'm just going to speak about what I see coming up. We're definitely in open space. This open space allows you to open up, and you just see that everything you see is just inside of you. Out there, you'll be able to move through the fourth dimensional belief systems and fourth dimensional seal very fast, and that's just a seal. And it's judgment and separation once you unify inside of your body. And that's coming up in collectives, because I see a lot of people pulling and pointing things out and always pointing things out. Well, you have to take responsibility and accountability for yourself at this point. If you've been on 3 years of awakening, and if you're stepping into a quantum field, and you know this is a quantum field, and you have all these way showers telling you guys, this is what we have to dissolve. You guys are still sitting for 3 5 years. And still in these beliefs, it's time to take that full responsibility to see, how can I break this down? How can I see that this is all just inside of the physical body and not take it so personal? And that's really coming in from the prime creator. Yes, exactly. Is it a frequency of prime creator saying, how can we keep dissolving the softwares and the autopilot system? So everyone is in mastery right now. They are. To assist with just dissolving inner judgment and external judgment, inner external control. So everything is inner flow, internal and external. And then a lot of the times it will go, it also will go into autopilot. So autopilot is the running of the vessel and not being able to kind of connect to the other conscious circuits, is the way that I look at it, in order to step in and say, oh, let's just deprogram this. So see how we can move through deprogramming the autopilot, and see how we can move to as well. So I feel like the next thing for humanity for 2023 is eventually they're going to see massive blueprints and knowledge coming in for them to really to move into the quantum field, but also to really taking full responsibility and accountability. Transparent is where everything becomes transparent, but everything is inside of you. So there's a lot of people out there right now, and it's okay because those are your veils, but the ones that are really wanting to go to the quantum consciousness right now, see how you can open up, see all the framework and the old work, and it's all framework, and not being so personal, because you'll realize it's just framework and now you're just in a belief system for another 3 years. Whew! And that's crazy, but it's okay, you know. But we're here to quantum jump people as fast as possible. Quantum jump the framework, and it really is just old framework, and not take it so personal. Whatever it is that you keep seeing, and you're putting all these beliefs into it, you know, all these tangible realities, belief systems, or triggers. Ooh, that's it. The triggers is clearing your Akashic, and you will have many triggers, and you'll keep having triggers until you go, okay, so what are really the triggers? When you look, the triggers is the old framework that the crystalline body, the crystalline structure, the superquantum computer system is trying to dissolve and reconstruct a whole new reality. That's why you'll see the old framework over here, because a lot of people are like, why is it all old framework here, and why is it 5D? Rainbows one day, and then I'm in the framework and old heaven on earth, or I'm sorry, what could be the old heaven? Why am I seeing this? I go outside, it's blissful. I see the crystalline energy matrix. I'm seeing pastels and rainbows in the skies, and I'm hitting these beautiful portals, and then I'm right back in the old framework. That's because that has to dissolve and break down. And it's really simple. Everyone getting a little bit caught up in the triggers, and right now all the triggers are set up, and that's your super system. So you're probably going to want to go sit and talk to your crystal body for a long time and ask your crystal body some questions and go, okay, so what exactly are we working on today, and what are we materializing? Hello. So you'll realize body talk is important. Mind, body, soul, body talk. Talking to your body and reprogram old framework. That was a good one, honey. Okay. So that was my husband talking to you. Everyone should know when my husband's in the house eventually. Because that's my husband. He'll go in, and that was awesome. So he probably just broke you out of a whole matrix with his fingers. This is all the old Matrix with that whole beautiful speech. Thank you. Okay, so these are fans, and I'm going to bring these in into space. You guys can access language of light naturally if you have been tuning into our channel. Photonic light naturally, and that's going to be accessing it naturally and organically too as well. If you feel like you're just now spiritually awakening. So I'm going to go to the beginning, the ones that have been accessing and bringing light and codes. You can start opening up the space every day. And these are ideas to learn how to tap into your organic Akasha, your muscle memory within your crystalline structures in your body, and you will be able to naturally bring on Kung Fu. And Kung Fu with fans. Okay? So I'm kind of bringing this for all the warriors, and you can order them. They're really just $50, and you can learn how to organically tap into Kung Fu and fan energy arts. And it will teach you how to actually access, oops, I'm disappearing, to be able to access an ability and how to sweep energy and move energy up and out and transmutations. So actually working with the fans to sweep energy up and out of and clear your field, or just to move energy and to shift energy and to move energy and to transmute energy. And I highly recommend that you tune into them and you buy them and you do it organically without lessons, and learn how to tap into your crystalline structure and muscle memory. Whatever in the quantum fields, whatever is available in the quantum fields out there. So if we have all of this energy arts, even from 5,000 to 10,000 years ago, or as old as the planet, if it's in Gaia and it's in the quantum fields, you can access it through organically opening up a portal, and you can access it within the physical body. All the history of the planet and Gaia, all the wisdom and knowledge is actually in your bone structures and skeleton structures. So it's very easy. Okay, you can ask your higher self for a download too. This is the first card, is a portal, infinite mind and awakening consciousness. So this is for the collective. This is for everyone today and all of the collectives. Let me see if I can, hold on. Okay. It's really beautiful. The portal is the crown, is her headdress. That's how you can access portals, is going to be through the diamond third eye. This one's beautiful. And this is, I pull cards for the collectives. What are you gonna say?
That's kind of close to the Mandela or whatever, the tile work I saw for the old man and Aarthi, when she had the sword. That was close to it.
Yes, okay. Isn't it, it's beautiful, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's just absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Akasha,
Death
can
and
you send
rebirth,
these
darkness to light.
pictures? Can you send these pictures later on when you get a chance?
Yes.
Thank you.
I can always just buy you the deck if you want it. It's the priestess. It's a
I want to
beautiful
also
deck.
see what came through today. So
It's the priestess deck. The priestess of light. It's absolutely beautiful. Death and rebirth, darkness to life, achievement, and effort. Effort plus intention. It's not like this one because it's a white buffalo transmission, and it's really beautiful. And those of you that love numbers like we do, 49, 19, and number 1. And I have 43, sacred purpose and internal flame, sacred purpose, internal flame, and ancestral legacy. This one is absolutely beautiful. The number is 43. Yeah, so we'll be looking in our angelic book. This assists us with synchronizing to the universe. So those of you that they love the cards, all of our beautiful star tribe that tunes in, they do write down the numbers and they all look them up in the angelic book, and they look up the meanings, the numerology, and that helps us and assists us aligning to our inner universe and unlocking our own inner keys. Okay. And I have Aarthi's here, and yours is 11, 45, and 46. And I'll send you a picture of your cards. I have a little transmission for Mikki. I'm going to pull a few cards for Mikki and for Morgan, and then we're going to close up our beautiful space for tonight. So happy holidays, and thank you so much for being here. It was amazing. Listen to the fortune tea. This is for Mikki. Or Mikki. Now I'm just calling you Mikki. Okay. We'll call you Mikki. Oh my God. Okay, so tenderness, true love, and compassion. And it's number 9. So that's all completion and mastery numbers. Number 4 is going to be your inner pillar. Yes. 555 means change is coming, that everything's about to change. And this is going to be summoning power, instinct, intellect, and control, probably releasing control. But like I said, it's a white wolf. Again, so your higher aspect is a wolf, and it is a multidimensional higher aspect of you, like a higher self. 4 and 9, and 4 is your inner pillar, your inner portal. That's just the way that I see it. So I see a portal. Yes, 555. When I see 555, that means we're about to go through a timeline change, that everything's about to shift, but it's always good. The only thing is that there's parts of us that could be fractaled, and we won't understand the change until we go, okay, so I guess we're just going to quantum flow.
We're just going to go down the river and see where we get to.
Yes, exactly. Down. We'll go down the river to see where we're going. Because I was collapsing my own timelines. I sit here and collapse my timelines and reset and readjust my timelines. So I clear my timelines and collapse all timelines, and then everything was collapsing. I was cracking up laughing because it took me a while to go, oh, well, I'm doing this to myself. So I was like, I'm pretty much doing this all to myself right now, which is serious. There's lots of change. Friendship. So number 14 is 7 and 7, and that's always hope and angelic code. Friendship, support, fun, unity, and play. So the 555 portal is definitely going to get to the next level, Morgan. And that's going to be Soul Tribe. And that's all of us connecting together right now. All of the family coming together. And it's really beautiful. Grateful optimism. Grateful optimism. Joyous view of the future. And that is Morgan. 51. That is beautiful Morgan. That's what they call Radiant Morgan. All of the higher roses, beautiful Morgan. Yes, it's all the goddesses are like, all the crystal Vucians, yeah, all the Hethars, the Hethar, higher version of me is always like, and it is me because I always say beautiful Morgan. It's just so just radiant, right? Which is funny. Oh my gosh, I've been sneezing since this morning. That was an activation.
No.
I was like, that was an activation integration. I needed to integrate light. 51, 14 and 51. if it's really you, I see you with the heart. You have to get a heart. They're a few $100s. Now you can get a good one, it'll be like 500, but you can go on Amazon to get a heart.
A harp. Was that for Morgan, or who was that for?
That's for you. For you, Morgan.
Oh, harp.
A heart. You have to get a heart. A beautiful harp, and play the harp, and it will materialize your reality. The harp is going to help you with your music tones, your language of light, the colors, the orchestra of your Merkaba, and then you will play the harp and you'll be able to materialize your co-creations, like visualize what you're creating. Like, let's say you want to go to Tahiti or Bali. Okay, that's fine. Let's say you want to take a trip. Well, you would get the harp, and the harp will assist you with visualization. As you're playing the harp, you'll be able to materialize into physical form your trip. Bali, Tahiti. I don't know where Tahiti is, but okay. So playing the harp in Bali, showing me that when you're ready, when you're creating and materializing a new timeline, that you'll be able to play the harp, and that the harp is going to assist you with the orchestra music and color, the rainbow sounds of the 5D.
If you told me that a week ago, I would have laughed, but now I'm going like, yeah, I'm hearing sound and I'm hearing music. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that one, sister. Yeah.
Okay. So if you can hear the music, and they're saying the harp will be able to assist you with creating timelines. I will, when I get the harp, because I'm gonna get a harp too, and we can play together. So I've decided and that it will assist you with creating vibrational timelines and to see and to initiate with the Merkaba. If you're hearing music, you're going into the 5D. So that should be your gate. You should know that this is a gate. If you're hearing sound and music and colors, that's a really big gate for you to know that your 5D band is anchoring. And that is actually your Merkaba singing to you. It's all the Merkaba. My Merkaba has really funny songs. He likes to say, the funniest song today was, I wish it was a little bit smaller, a little bit taller. It actually sings rap songs. This morning, it was the Wu-Tang, and the sound of Wu-Tang, like, ooh, baby, I like it raw, but it's raw food. So at first I was like, wait a minute. It's like, but it was the raw food, like raw food, like the food, anyways, like raw food. So I got that one. Eventually it was telling me why I was playing it, but it will do the beginning intro to Wu-Tang. And that's a Stargate opening, which is hilarious. I would just be cracking a lot because you can't make it up. It's above the crowd. It's like dun 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 dun. It's just crazy. So it's the whole Merkaba system. I was like, so I was wondering who designed my jukebox. Who designed my jukebox? And then I wish it was a little bit taller, wish it was a little bit smaller. I started to expand up and out of the body like my Andromedan, like my Andromedan that's very tall, like 10 feet or 12 feet. And I was getting out of the bathroom and I was like really long all the way down. And I knew it with my Andromedan, and I was like, I was sitting there laughing, going, this must be the song. I wish it was a little bit taller. I wish it was a little bit smaller instead of an old song. So I was looking down, got out of the shower. I was like, wow, I must be growing or something. Because I was as tall as my Andromedans. Like, that was my integration of the Andromedan coming in and saying, hello, like, I'm here and I'm 10 feet tall. Okay, so I need to walk. And then I was trying to walk out of the bathtub, So the Stargates, the music above the crown, write it down. Because eventually you'll realize that this is probably like an integration or something, there was an integration with my Andromeda, and then I thought it was clearing too, how we wish. But anyways, it could be all of it. all at the same time. Listen to the Shanti. All right. So that was a little. You need a heart and music, and then he'll be DJing. Yeah, DJing about. They show you DJing, like you do an electronic, like actually getting into electronic, like DJing in a few years to bring in your music, your notes, your beautiful light, and you'll be streaming it through the collectives.
That makes yeah, people don't know me who are listening to this, but that makes a lot of sense. That makes thank you. Yes, it resonates.
Yeah, it's you realizing your like realizing the keys, the codes, the light. Like I'm bringing this in, and then you put it into electronic sound. Like you actually do go and make music in a few years.
Cool.
I think, or in 6 months, but who knows, right? Yes, rewriting songs with it. Yes, and then Aaron's funny, rewriting songs. I do have some of the Wu-Tang songs. I'm like, we gotta rewrite the lyrics. Like I'm like, turn this off. This is kind of like the Ascended Master is going. So who programmed my Stargates with all of the crazy songs? Like, then I was like, that was a long time ago. But anyways, I would wake up and hear music. It's hilarious because I know the songs, but I said I had to start rewriting some of the lyrics because it's like the Ascended Master and then the Andromedans cracking on the body. The Andromeda thinks it's hilarious and the Ascended Master thinks it's like horrid. I'm like going, ah! Like, it's a multi-dimensional experience, you know. And so I was like, let's rewrite the songs, rewrite the music. It's like it becomes multi-dimensional for a very long time, for a few years. You have all these multi-dimensional yous in a vessel, and then it's like, okay, somebody just make a decision at this point because, like, you guys have to make some integration decision. I wanted to tell everyone we do have a Black Friday sale. All of our Andaras are 25 to 45% off, and you don't need a coupon. There's no coupon code needed. They already are on sale. We have Andaras and we have crystals, beautiful crystals, apophyllite crystals, and azurite crystal. And we do have one Lemurian seed left. We're going to post another one tomorrow that is singing music. So now it showed me it's activated because I can hear the music transmitting from the Lemurian seed. So I said, okay, so I'm going to put you up now. I usually rehabilitate a lot of them. I rehabilitate Andarians too. So the ones that are with us for a long time, and they said they were ready to go, and they started to tune and to tone to their color tones and what they want to be, their activations, what they want to be, their transmissions that are coming in. Okay, so that's on sale, and then also we have 45% off all of our Divine Ascension Mastery School Codex. So that is all curriculum and anything that is our large packages. There are one-on-one private sessions. The Stargate Mastery School is 45% off, and that's going to be for tonight, tomorrow, and we'll run it till Saturday. Okay. If anyone needs any assistance at all, or any questions, you can just message us. Okay. Go into our awesome website. We're redoing it, and it's going to be a temple. So we are working. I'm getting downloads too for the next transition of everything that we're doing, Morgan. So everything is shifting. Everything really is changing completely. So it's just, I can't believe it's like our missions are done, and we're opening up new soul missions to whatever it is we want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I'm totally getting, like, the past 2 or 3 years have been like, don't even worry about that. Just move forward with whatever's new and whatever like whatever good thing you want to bring into the world, you're going to bring it in 2023. Yeah, just, start to at least, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's those are your highest gates. And you'll see everything is like right now it's just a setup. 2022 is all of the setup of the geometrics and equations and coordinates and blueprints. So that's your new framework, and that's what we've been working on. Now that is gone. What you were just bringing in is quantum. That's the quantum fields where they're just keep creating and don't stop. Don't put like chords. Tangible reality is like all fixed. Don't fix anything. Don't make anything fixed, and keep going. So that's all quantum field reality build. Co-creation.
Right. And I'm just getting a flashback. I talked about this in one of my videos recently, but it had to do with the divine feminine inside was building structures, sort of like the template or the framework, and then the masculine could come along and do things with the framework. And it was very beautiful. And I think it ties in with what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. And that's that's like all the framework, what we're doing. So I'm getting mounds of downloads of the next everything that we are doing. And I'm like, it's only me and Aarthi at this point. So now it's just like Aarthi with Aaron too coming on board. But it's like it's like that can come on board and it's like nanoseconds, everything's collapsed. So I don't know how to explain it, but it has to keep collapsing whatever needs to be done for us to get to the vibrational frequency timeline of that alignment, and that's where my higher self say, he says, you need people to come into the space that actually believe in what you're doing. Okay. Yeah. That actually believe in you, 100% believe in you, and really see your vision, and that it's a unity consciousness and it's a we consciousness, but you need someone that really believes in you. So the big one in the house says, I will just bring them in and collapse, bring them in and collapse. And I go, well,
All right. Are we still live? Let's see.
Was that another collapse?
I can do that with my that was funny. I can't move my hands like that. I'm starting to blow like electronics with my light field hands. So it's like everything has to collapse and everybody has to it's like everyone has to keep upgrading. And the big one in the house is just like, we'll just keep upgrading. And we have to, he says, I will bring the ones who truly believe in you, but we do all have to upgrade, because there's a lot of the collapses have to happen internally in order for us everyone to align. So that's what was shown right now. So it's like sitting and be patient. So he says, I'm going to show you the frequencies that are out of alignment. He did that for a long time. He's like, I'm going to bring in the ones that are out of alignment because I need you to feel these frequencies so you know what is not in alignment. And that's a good mastery. And then he goes, okay, so now I'm going to bring the ones that are in alignment and the soul family that believes in what you're doing, the ones that truly believe in what you're doing, because I had to read transmission. Okay, so this is important word for you, that I had to read body transmission. So body transmission, because there's people that can speak, right? But there's a lot of mentalities mentioned. Okay, that is a lot of what we call the unconscious. So you have to read transmissions, and he says, now I'm going to bring this full family that believe in you, but you have to read body transmission. And he says, and then you have to tune and tone your transmissions of your body to pure love. So I have to upgrade to nothing but a transmission of Christ consciousness, frequency of pure love. So it's really cool, everything I'm learning. And there's parts of me, the human self was like, this is not cool. And then there's a higher part saying, oh, this is cool. And eventually it all merges together. When you're in that mastery, and that is the quantum field's mastering, you have to master all dimensions and master transmission. And that really is transmission, frequency, and energy. So this could come into anyone that is, let's say you're going to build the universal empire with inside of you, and then you bring it out into the physical. So there's a lot of stuff shifting and changing, and really cool stuff that we're building the website just to be a temple, but a cool temple that you have like 5 or 6, 7 temples available for you for all different types of walkings of life, not just starseeds. Anyone who is just elevating their consciousness, they would come in and they choose their temple, and it's all I don't like saying free, but it's no charge. You go in, you would turn on our website, you choose the temple. Like there's going to be a twin ray sacred union temple, and you would just click on that, and you'll have all of these light body transmissions and journeys and that you can go into. And it's the Crystalline temple. You just turn it on. It's really simple. You don't have to go through all this stuff on Facebook. You would come into the temple, and we'll make the journey spaces. And then there'll be the Galactic temples, the New Earth, whatever comes through, and then all the God. So each video will be a journey space to go into the temple. We are going to teach people how to connect to God consciousness and also connect to the universal higher self. So a lot of them will be two-way communication to their higher self. That way because a lot of people come in and say, I can't hear, I can't see, hear, and feel. Okay, so just go into our temple and just set up like the virtual temple. You'll probably need some crystals and stuff like that, and that should be easy for everybody. Just something really simple. And you would just turn on our website and be like, da-da, you know. Anyways, it's awesome. It's going to be an awesome experience whenever it's done. So that's what's coming through for us, is that we have to create all of these temples in the website that everybody can just go in, and it's really simple, and you just take on your little earbuds, put your crystals, and then you just go and learn how to communicate to the higher version of you, all of your Ascension temples. So it's really cool. We have Nefertiti and her husband is going to be the first temple. So do your dream, Morgan. Whatever is being given to you, just do it. And that's for everybody listening. Because imagine like when I'm getting downloads and I'm sitting here going, oh God. Like I'm laughing, going, so how are we going to do this? And I just said, I was cracking up laughing because I don't even know how to build a website. Or I didn't know how to use a computer.
Yeah.
So you know what I did?
No.
I just told myself, the big one else, I said, you better get in, like, and all the way in somehow. So I was like, to do everything. So I've been just sitting there listening to light body activations, and I tell them just bring in the light, and I'm literally, like I said, I'm in bed with plasma diamond light upgrading. So then finally my higher self comes in and he'll start building everything, and then he goes, okay, go back to sleep for like a week, a few days, and I'll be right back in.
And I just wanted to
get it all done in
just wanted to inject for a second. It has to do with, like, you're talking about Christ consciousness and like double diamond and things like that. And that's really great. And that's really amazing. That's where we're headed. But I just wanted to remind some people who might be watching this that has to do with the small steps and the small steps of what you can do where you're at. And even if that is just going through the day, smiling at everyone, or being, maybe not nice isn't quite the right word, but being kind to everyone you meet, try for that. And that will lead you as a step towards the Christ consciousness and towards the upper.
Yes, isn't the it's all the Christ consciousness embodiment. Yes, it's like I realized that you're really going to have to, if you want to get everything done yourself. Anyways, everything's not going to be the pathway of this universe over here, because a big one in the house always tells me, you're going to upgrade and sleep and rest, and I'm going to win, and we're doing everything ourselves only.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to show you that what quantum is. I'm going to show you quantum existence. I'm going to show you that we're going to clear in our dream state. We're going to get everything done in the dream state, and then you get up and then you can create. and to build website. I'll build everything for you. And I was like, he really did, because I showed Artie, I said, do you see everything that the big one in the house gave it? It did. It looks like beautiful, the threefold flame. When you go in, it's all colors and rainbows and unicorn energy. And I was and just like gold and enchantment. It's just beautiful when you realize that you're listening to the higher self. And I said, oh, okay. And then it truly comes into fruition, and it comes into the physical.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, just being able to see the magic, and to be able to understand the embodiments of the quantum human. It's like you have to do everything yourself, right? And I was like, okay, so are you going to stretch me farther? Is that like this, good to make the field bigger? So and that's the quantum fields, and that is all a part of the Christ consciousness embodiment. The Christ consciousness embodiment, it's the crystalline body. It is the super quantum computer system body that we can get everything done. What's going to take us a year, we can get it done in 1 hour. Isn't that cool?
It is. I'm just getting the notion that it's my time's up. So I'm just going to thank you, Akasha, for inviting me, and I hope everyone got a little something out of this. And thank you so much, Aarthi, and thank you so much, Mikki, for being a part of it.
Yes, and we're going to close up the beautiful space. Thank you so much for being here, and I truly appreciate it. So probably maybe about a few weeks if you want to collaborate again. That'll be awesome.
That sounds
and
great.
I hope you have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, all of our beautiful followers too, as well, and our family and our star tribe. Have a good evening. It is getting late. It's almost 3 hours, so we do have